what advice would you give to the up and coming artists that's trying to make it to your level or get it?
The best advice I can give to a new artist trying to get in the game is to be honest. And you would think that I wouldn't have to give this kind of advice, but you'd be surprised. The reality is that in any scenario in life, lies catch up with you. Half-truths catch up with you. In hip-hop, they catch up with you faster than most other facets of life. And it doesn't really help because people come to hip-hop for honesty. People come to this culture for you to share your experiences so that hopefully what you've gone through can help them with what they're going through. The more you lie or tell half-truths or mislead people with that is the more you put their lives in jeopardy. I don't play like that. I don't like people playing like that. I don't appreciate when people try to play with me like that. And I don't think people would appreciate if all I did and all these records all this time would just try to sell people a bunch of bullshit just to make myself look good. I happen to think that my mama made a decent looking child and I look good already, so I ain't got to lie to make myself look better. Unfortunately, that doesn't necessarily exist in the world, and the damn show don't exist like that in rap music. So I just tell people, man, just be honest so that you don't never have to go back and remember what your old lies was. Because this should have come back 10, 15 years down the line and you'll be trying to remember what you told somebody way back in the gap.
Okay. So speaking, when you say people being themselves, now you know about the technology now when you have like Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Is it best for artists to, because a lot of artists now go on YouTube and try to make a name for themselves. Do you think record labels or executives, A&Rs and stuff are looking at those artists as seriously, or do they prefer the guys that's blinded in the street?
I think, you know, record labels have to take all things into consideration right now. You know what I'm saying? Grinding and hustling is not something that a record company can really teach you. So, you know, what they're doing nowadays is, you know, basically nurturing artists doesn't necessarily exist anymore. Record companies don't really have the time or the facilities to sit on an artist for a year and a half, you know, nurturing them, letting them go out on the road, getting some experiences, and working with them with different producers until they find that right record or whatever. They don't have that kind of time anymore, you know what I'm saying? And hip-hop used to be a playing field of passion. Now it's a playing field of numbers. And when I say that, is that all the original hip-hop labels were owned by individuals who loved hip-hop. Almost everyone has sold, you know what I'm saying, sold the rights to their passion away, and now almost every rap label is someone's subsidiary. You know what I'm saying? So you're not just answering to somebody who can say, you know, like with Russell, like, you know what, Method's not ready yet. We're going to wait another 6 or 7 months till we got him right where we want him so that when his album drops, he connects with people like he's supposed to. Nowadays, record companies, they're watching YouTube, but they're just watching to see who gets the most views. And they're going to sign that, you know, regardless of whether it has any artistic integrity or not. You know what I'm saying? If it's something that's already, you know, it's already making ripples in the water, rather than trying to find another rock to throw in there, they just want to ride those waves that are already rippling. So, I mean, it's a lot easier for an artist to be seen nowadays, but it's a lot harder to get signed.
So, of course, back in the days, I would say New York was like the up north with hip hop. You know, everybody tuned in to up north trying to see who's coming out. And then eventually, the South took over. In what way, how do you feel about that movement? Like,
well, I think people tend to look at it wrong. People tend to think that, you know, that the South just took over. And what happened is that it's the same people buying music, they're just buying different music. Originally, you know, the same people that buy in the South that buy Southern records bought, you know, East Coast records because that was all that was available to us as far as hip-hop was concerned. When hip-hop went to L.A., we all bought L.A.'s records and we made L.A. people stars. And now, you know, just Southern people, you know, Southern fans have found out that, you know, if we want to see people like us from where we are on TV and on the radio, we got to get in the game. We got to buy that music, we got to call in and request those records, and we got to go to those concerts, you know what I'm saying? People understand the cycle now. of how to get somebody on number one on 106 in Park, how to have somebody on the blogs, and how to make sure that your concerts sell out. People understand that process. So now it's just they get to share it with everybody. It's like, okay, I'm from Jackson, I'm from Mississippi, you know what I'm saying? I love Mississippi music. I want to see some Mississippi people blow up. So now they coordinate all the Mississippi people to get behind a Big Crit, you know, get behind a David Banner, something like that. So now, you know, once David Banner or Big Crit is out there, now Mississippi's on the map. Now we all on the map. You know what I'm saying? So we can blow ourselves up now. People understand the process. They didn't really understand it as much before, but the internet has kind of answered a lot of questions that people have.
Wait, do you want to do some questions?
Oh no, you can go ahead. I'm gonna take the pictures after he's done because I don't want the flash in there.
Okay, but you don't have any questions, do you? Okay.
Tonight you're hosting. While you're hosting, what are you looking for in the artist that's about to perform on stage that you haven't seen in other cities?
Well, for me, hosting, because of the fact that I'm the host, my job is just to manage the stage. You know what I'm saying? We have judges that we bring in every city, and they're the people that actually rate the artist and actually who are going to decide who's the winner and who's the loser. My job is to make sure that the MCs go by the rules that are set before them, and to make sure that they don't disrespect the judges, disrespect the crowd, disrespect the venue, disrespect the show. You know what I'm saying? It can get wild. It can get hairy. It can get sketchy. This is hip-hop. It gets real, you know. So, you know, you need a person on the stage that when these MCs come out, they know off top, if you're going to make a big deal about something, you better make sure it's worth it. Because if I feel like my toe got stepped on, I'm going to step on the toe. You know, it's not a threat, it's called common respect. When I'm in the house and I'm in that stage, regardless of whose city I'm in or whatever, when I'm on that stage, I'm in the building, that's my house. I come to your city, I'm in the DMV, I come with love and respect when I step in the building. Now, anybody that comes in that building that don't have that same love or respect, if we bump heads across paths, then we're going to have to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how that is. If I came to DMV disrespecting people, I'm supposed to get handled a certain way, regardless of who I am, what I do, and where I'm from. And that's and vice versa, baby. Vice versa.
Respect. My last question for you. When you're on tour, you're going city to city, what up-and-coming artists are you listening to, if you have time to listen to, that you're feeling right now?
It's hard because I tend to listen to a lot of everything. You know what I'm saying? From Macklemore to Mac Miller. You know what I'm saying? I'm all over the map because it's important for me as a fan of music to, you know, I still want to be able to walk up on people like, yo, you heard that new so-and-so? See, I do that too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? People might do that with my music. I do it with other people's music because I still love it. I still love the culture. I still appreciate it. And I still love sharing it with people. You know what I'm saying? So that they can better appreciate it. But yeah, I try to listen to as much as possible. There's so many cats right now that are doing so much. You know, people ask me, you know, who's popping in Houston right now. I can name you 20 cats that are popping, and that's just Houston. You go to Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Port Arthur, where I'm from. There's so many cities across America, and somebody's hot everywhere. You know what I'm saying? I've been tending to go back and listen to a lot of older music lately. You know what I'm saying? Because the market is saturated with what's popping now. There's not really the same appreciation in America, let me say, for old school and the building blocks and the foundation. And for me, it's always good to stay in touch. Like, you know, for you know, every Stalley record or every Sean Phelan record I listen to, I go back and pop in, you know, old Second to None album or DJ Quick, or, you know, even go back to Tough Crew and Ultramagnetic, Critical Beatdown, you know, who pull these things out, man, and just remember, you know, that it's still good. And you know, for me, it's important that, you know, I still feel, you know, listening to new music like I did the old music. So I put the old music in just to make sure, like, yep, nope, this shit's still jamming. You know what I'm saying? It's still jamming. And hopefully, you know, I'm somewhere in that cycle and people listening to my shit along with the new shit.
Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you guys so much, man. I really appreciate it.
I got one more question. How do you find out about like the new music that you listen to?
Well, me, you know, it's, you know, every now and then someone will let me know about something, but 9 times out of 10 it's the internet. You know,
So like a specific website?
I'm heavily divested into the New Music Cartel, Complex Media Network. You know, right now those are just the places for who, what, when, where. You know what I'm saying? As far as music is concerned, and music is starting to bleed over as an art form, it's starting to bleed over into other art forms. You see a lot of people paying more attention to photography. You see Instagram and Tumblr blowing up. You see a lot more people paying attention to movies and television and video, and just, you know, people want to be a part of all of it. They want to be a part of the entire process, you know what I'm saying? And God bless them for it, you know.
Thank you.
Okay.